We're going to stick with the NBA, Rob, and James Harden. So now here's the deal. Here's what we know. Rob G, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. So the last time James Harden spoke, it was all good. Nick Nurse and Daryl Morey are like, it was all good just a week ago. It wasn't even a week. And James Harden was saying, I'm getting in game shape, and I'm never going to be good with Daryl Morey again. There is no chance our relationship is repaired, but I'm coming to play. I'm coming to ball. I'm a Hall of Famer, and I'm going to show y'all why. I mean, I'm embellishing a little, but he was saying he was coming to play. And then, lo and behold, he doesn't show up for practice today. And then, lo and behold, reports are that he's actually in Houston. Rob G, are they playing tonight? Philadephia? I think they're playing tonight. He's not even at the game. All right. And so, Rob, I'm going to throw it out to you first. And Rob G, correct me if I'm wrong on them playing tonight. But how do you think Sixers should handle this situation?
I would play hardball. I would just you don't come, you don't get paid. We're not giving in. Just we'll take the L, and we'll make sure that you don't get paid.
They're not playing tonight. They play Friday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just roll over for this guy. This guy he's done this before, but they're to blame because they were Chris. They knew what he did in other places. Daryl Morey,
Morey thought he was his boy.
Right, that's what they thought, and this one ended badly. But he's done this and pulled this act before. Again, you can't act surprised. You can't act like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh, this is so. We didn't expect this. This is who James Harden is. This is who he is.
When you date somebody that Rob saw, 3 nights ago at the club.
What? That's me?
She's out there a little bit. I'm just saying,
I'm not right. I can't be surprised. Yes,
don't be surprised that she's talking to your boy Jimmy on the side.
Hey. It bees like that, Chris. It bees like that. Are you man enough to accept it is the whole thing. Because you knew our reputation. You knew James Harden's reputation. So you can't act all surprised and like, oh, I don't know what's going on. You knew what was going on. It's the worst case scenario if you're Philadelphia. Because you got a star, you got a team you think you could compete if this guy would just play. But he doesn't want to play, Chris.
I agree with you on that. They should play hardball. But here's how I would do it. I'm going to lay it out step by step. James Harden's going to show up. Because, Rob, the rules in the NBA, he has to show up if he wants to get paid. And he's upset because he's already lost tens of millions of dollars, if not more than that. And so he's going to come and get his $35 million this year. So he will be there. But here's what I think the Sixers need to do. Now, Harden seems to like or at least be able to stomach Nick Nurse, the new coach. He's spoken favorably of him. Who knows what that means. But, it seems like he'll talk to Nick Nurse, the new head coach. Nick Nurse has to sit down with James Harden and say, James, we love you. I mean, me and the teammates. I get it. You and Daryl have issues. That's between y'all. We need you on this team. We want you on this team. We think we can actually do some special things with you on this team. But I need to know. And, Rob, sometimes, you would be surprised. Rob, you know this. There are guys in authority positions in the NBA that won't talk to players like this. They won't sit down and have a heart-to-heart. But that's what this situation calls for. I'm not saying Nick Nurse is the guy that won't do it. I'm just saying in general,
right.
I have heard stories of guys that they won't want to face a player like this.
Right. They don't want to be confrontational.
Yep.
They don't want to get into it. It's shocking to me, but you're right.
Right. And it's part of the job. So Nick Nurse has to be point blank. Look, James, we need you at 100%. Like, I get it. And I do get it, Rob. And I think you get it too. We can talk about the faults of Harden and all that. And there's many in this situation. We're not trying to absolve him. But when you feel like you're not getting the money you deserve or that you were lied to or whatever, then it can hurt your morale. And so Nick Nurse needs to be like, look, I need to know if you're going to be able to give us all you got. And if you can't, and he has to get the answer from Harden. If Harden says, I can, coach, then bring him in and let's go. If he says he can't, then Nurse needs to okay, I'll get back to you, James, on what we're going to do. Go to Daryl Morey and be like, look, he's not going to give us his all. And Rob, if they have Harden around and he shows up and is there for the games and like whether he plays or not, he is going to bring that team down with his attitude. His pouting, his sulking, his lethargy. If he plays and he's going half speed, whatever, it's going to bring the team down. So if Harden cannot give him his all, or if he says, I'll give you my all, and plays hard for 2 games, and then loafs the 3rd game, whatever the case, you got to get him out of there. And I'm telling you, Rob, if I was Daryl Morey, I'd say, look, stay away from the team until we trade you. Because I think this, Rob, I honestly think they can go just as far without James Harden as they can go with him. Because they're not getting past the second round with him. They're not getting past the second round with him. And they might not get there without him, but I think they got a better – he's not going to make that much of a difference because he just doesn't bring it in the playoffs like he needs to. And so I think with Tyrese Maxey at the second option, with Tobias Harris as the 3rd option, and a good cast of role players, they can have a decent season, make the playoffs. I think they can pretty much go just as far. I don't think their record will be as good as it would be with Harden, but I just send him away if he's going to pout because it's going to tear down the team and ruin whatever decent season you could have.
No, I'm going to disagree with that. First of all, I'm not going to send the guy away and pay him. I'm not going to do that. You're going to
let him play and pout and go half speed and all that?
No, if he goes half speed, he'll be suspended for insubordination and he won't get paid. So
okay.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
I could do that. That's
okay.
Good. I'll take that.
I'm going to suspend him and not pay him because I'm not going to give him a free vacation not to, you know what I mean, with pay, Chris, to not play. I'm not doing that. If you don't follow the rules and regulations.
I just think sometimes it's hard for them to enforce that in the NBA. But if you can, I'm with you. Totally.
Yeah,
I agree.
Okay, so the insubordination, if you don't do what you're supposed to, I'm not paying you. And they're trying to win and come out. They went to Boston last year. They won game 1 without Embiid, had a chance to close out the Celtics, Chris.
You actually think they got a chance to win the East?
I do. I think if Harden was in the right frame of mind, that they would have a chance. I'm not saying that I would pick them, but I don't think that they have no shot. We saw what they did, but they should have beat Boston last year, right? Would you agree with that?
Do you think you're going to I wouldn't say shoulda, but
no,
they
but
were
I mean,
there. They were right there. They were right there. It's a tough series.
It was 3-2 coming home. They had a golden opportunity to do it, especially when they stole game 1. I'm not saying going in were they favorites. They weren't favorites going in. No.
On paper, they could be as good as anybody in the East. I'll give you that. But I'm not convinced Harden's ever going to deliver in the playoffs. No,
I hear you.
For that matter, Embiid has shrunk a little bit in the playoffs. But but I hear you. But do you actually think there's a chance you're going to get Harden in his right mind?
No, I don't. But I'm just saying I'm not letting him get his way.
So you let him come in. And then you say you play or – because here's the thing, Rob. If he plays and he plays poorly and we can see he's loafing, how you going to prove, though, that he's not playing his best?
Chris,
he can really say, look, I'm giving him my all. Now, here, I will throw this out, Rob. James Harden has to realize whatever future he wants in the league, he does need to play well.
Chris,
Like going out there playing poorly is not going to help him because next year he wants to get a free agent contract.
thank you.
And so he does need to play.
He has an
well.
incentive to that. And also, Chris, if you go out and put up BS numbers, you hurt your overall average, okay? Which you could hurt your Hall of Fame or whatever.
Well, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's that shit.
But I'm just saying,
that's definite.
But I'm just saying, like, you could hurt some of your stats, that all kinds of other things that people look at. I don't believe he's going to go out there and score 2 points to make a point.
Remember, he did that in Houston.
Well, he had a fat man suit on,
played
too.
Well, yeah, he scored 40 or something in one of the games, and then he saw they're not going to trade me with me playing this well, and so then he started playing poorly. But I hear you. We're in a lot of agreement, and he does have incentive. That's what Harden needs to realize. He doesn't help himself by not playing well. He doesn't help himself by having a bad attitude. He really doesn't because teams are leery. And Rob, we saw it now. Carmelo was further gone than Harden is at this point. Allen Iverson was further gone than Harden is, meaning their games weren't where his is at now. But we saw both of them, legends, top 75 players, guys that will, Melo will be in the Hall of Fame. Iverson's already in the Hall of Fame. Iverson even more iconic than James Harden. And their careers ended prematurely because they wouldn't accept the role or whatever. And James Harden, Rob, could be in that boat next year if he doesn't handle this the right way.
He could be.
Hopefully he will, he'll just do what's best for his career. I get him being mad at them, even as he's to blame for a lot of it. But they're not blameless either.